Welcome to Hot Topics After Dark with your host, Hugh Wiggins, architect and survival enthusiast, and Jeffrey DeShawn, strategic advisor, coach, and author. Let's get talking.
So, Lady Q, what's been on your mind? We've been talking about so much. There's been so much going on.
It's so much going on. There's so much going on. And like you say, we gotta like kind of ooze in, for the family conversation. Come a little closer and talk about what's really going on. So that's the goal of today's conversation is the stuff that we can't necessarily talk about it from a broader perspective that's not necessarily being discussed in the news.
Yes, because there are some things that, when I turn on the major cable news networks, because local news is just magazine, topics on local anyway. When I turn on to cable news networks, there's some things that I'm just not hearing. There's some things that make me go, about this here, COVID-19, coronavirus, people dying of pneumonia complication.
And did you hear the mayor? Did you hear the Atlanta mayor? Did you hear the Atlanta mayor?
I mean,
she came in a little bit for it. She came in for that discussion just a little bit.
I am proclaiming the mayor of Atlanta, Mayor Bottoms, as the mayor of Black America. Thank you, the living mayor of Black America.
The living mayor of Black America.
Honor, and privilege to the Honorable Marion Barry, who is no longer with us. But I'm dubbing her the living mayor of Black America because not disrespectful, recognizing that she is the mayor of a major city within a state, but she let the people know that you have common sense. My children, I like how she said it. My children hold that announcement and they're excited, jumping up and down, running up and down the steps because they think that means something in this household. Did you peep that? My children, right?
She stopped playing politics and became mama. This mama, because you, and I don't care if you're 18, is what she said. As long as you live in this house. So I love the fact that she stopped playing politics. And it's so funny that TMZ showed it, the entertainment network, and not CNN or MSNBC, because that's not how we want our politicians to work.
But here's the interesting thing. I'm okay with it, because you know what? My brothers and sisters in Atlanta, who I need to hear and see it in Georgia, they was watching TMZ. They got that on their phone and across their social media. So they heard Mama, Mayor Mama Bottoms.
Mayor Mama
Bottoms in Atlanta say,
Mayor Mama Bottoms
got common sense. I don't care if that white man is the governor or the president, you got some common sense. Listen to Mayor Mama Bottoms. That's what I got to say.
Yeah, I loved it. I love that she came through and she told people to think about what they know is right. Because clearly, we're not getting proper information from our elected officials. Our elected officials are telling us it's okay to die. And on top of that, what makes it so bad, Governor Kemp, you know what he said today? He said he had the nerve to pop back and say, we're not gonna have state legislation until it's safe, probably around June 11th. Did you just say that although it's unsafe?
Hold on. So the state legislators, the paid representatives for the state of Georgia, will not be going back to work until at least June 11th. However, there is regulation.
No, we ain't. Mind you, it ain't even May yet.
But hold on. So you're saying it's been determined today that the state legislators, the paid employers, on behalf of the taxpaying stockholders of the state of Georgia, those employees don't have to go back to work until June 11th. However, those stock-paying shareholders of the state of Georgia who happen to be barbers, cosmetologists, nail technicians, y'all go ahead and go head on out into the spaces and the places.
Yep.
But the legislators, the leaders will be
The leaders will fall back.
They're gonna be so they're gonna be on plantation to June 11th.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll be in the house.
On plantation to June 11th.
They'll be in the house and they're sending the niggas out to the plantation.
Well, Lady Q said it, y'all. Lady Q said it. We said we was going to have some family.
They want to send us out. They want to send us out in the danger and kill us. It's just the same. But they safe in the house.
Well, you know what we got to say to that? Male Mama Bottoms has told us what we say to that.
To get your ass back in the house. You gonna be safe with them. I posted something today on Facebook, and what did I say? I said, no, Black America will not go to the front lines to make, to be safe. What is it? I said something. I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was in the effect of Black America is not willing to go to the front lines to save the economy that we've never been allowed to participate in anyway.
You know,
we've never even been able to be the benefactors of all this work. We've never been able to gain the revenue.
You know what has been coming up for me? One of my beloved partners and friends in life, God rest his soul, was a beautiful Argentine man. And he gave me a book on Argentine history when we were dating. And one of the things that he thought it was so important for me to understand and know about Argentina before going and visiting was that Argentina did indeed, like much of South America, have an Afro-Argentine population. Argentina no longer has an Afro-Argentine population. It hasn't for a very long time because Argentina sent their Afro-Argentines off to war for their civil war, right? They on the front lines. And then when the men did not come back to war, the women were married off and assimilated into the more native indigenous population. And there is this whole emergence it's been some years for me, but you know, over the last 15, 20 years, this attempt to sort of revive the story of the Afro-Argentine. And so when I hear sort of this landscape and you lay that out, that just came up in me because I don't know if a lot of people recognize that we are in a civil war. You have a federal government apparatus that has claimed fiefdom, right? So, you know, I believe his name is Kushner, said that the federal government, the federal arsenal reserves. So what's the term? The emergency apparatus, the stuff.
Yeah, our FICA.
Not just the money, but the things we need in an emergency. I forgot the language, but that those things were ours. And he said this is ours, meaning the executive branch of the governments, right? And then you have states who are saying, well, we're not getting the help we need from the federal government. There's not federal government coordination. So our federal government has ceded its responsibility to the states, which means we are in a civil war. Well, so in a civil war, we're in times of economic and structural civil war, and a southern state rushes in the rush to reopen, to sending to the front lines of the economy those who are already low-wage workers, and already we know documented who are more predisposed to having prior health issues, allegedly, that have made them more predisposed to becoming infected by SARS-CoV coronavirus, and then makes them more predisposed to dying from the pneumonia symptoms as a result of, right? So when I hear that, and then I get that remembering of Argentina's history of having sent Black folks off to war and them not coming back.
History repeats itself.
I'm just
History
thinking
will
of some
always
things to make
repeat
you go
itself.
home,
All
Lady
you have to do
Q.
is look at history. All you have to ever do is look at history. They are telling you so many things and even retracting so many things at the same time, but yet they want you to believe what they're saying out their mouth at that very second. Because before we were told, oh, this will only affect white men. Meanwhile, they knew that we were the workforce. Now in Italy, they shut down all the restaurants, but here KFC is still open. And we know, again, well, you know, we talked about this before, we didn't have PPE, but over 60% of the entire nation, as far as cities, just cities, we are the essential workforce. We are the construction workers. We are the people working in McDonald's. We are the people working in Walmart. The hospitals, which are absolutely necessary, they are really essential, unlike a lot of these things. There are, you know, that's a mixed bag. But
Yeah.
the people who are in danger because they didn't have proper PPE, it was us. And now they want to put us at even riskier behaviors while they stay at home. This is all while they stay at home with the money that we provided them to sit there.
And we understand the economic, you know, trade-offs that people are making, right? So I have to own my privilege of being able to make the trade-off to stay at home, right? Mm-hmm. And the reality is that many folks don't have the finances, right, or resources to be able to do that, right? So if business does open back up. But the thing is, we have to, again, as Mayor Mama Bottom said, we have to be smart. We have to, you know, trust that just base knowledge, right? We don't have to be governor, we don't have to be president, like the common sense to know that there's not enough information known and can be counted on to be able to take their word, and this determination is more than what it is, which is a economic risk mediator, right? So if this population of poor people and Black people are already predisposed to be exposed, and they in a large swath of them work in these industries, they go ahead and let them back to work. They predisposed, don't get it anyway, let them back to work. So my concern, and I want family, come in, let's talk.
We really don't have
to recognize and know is that just because you've been called back to work, and even though these bills are due, and I know I come say this from a privileged space, you don't have to go back to work, because the risk mitigation trade-off is that you were already going to be exposed, right? And since you already need to go back to work, and the stimulus package hasn't done what it needed to do for small business and independent operators, so yeah, y'all get back to work so we don't have to hear you complain, hear your need. Y'all generate, go back to work and generating your income that you need from each other, because y'all already predisposed and gonna probably get sick from it and hope recover or not recover anyway. So what I'm saying to my family, brothers and sisters, we can't afford to go back to work and not have had the structural issues that have been identified over the last 3 weeks not remedied. Where is the PPE for our people? Where is the hospital personnel and beds available in our communities where these folks are going back to work, so that when these folks, if God forbid they come up sick in 2 weeks, that the infrastructure has been set in place in an alignment with the economics. As we prioritize economics, we need to also prioritize the health infrastructure to support those economics. And that's what I want to hear folks talk about.
And I want to tap on one thing about us not having the information. They give us a couple of pieces of data. They finally told us, hey, yeah, 50% of the people that are dying, or 70, like in New York, 70% of the people that are dying are Black. Oh, we finally come up with the information, but look a little deeper. Try to find how many essential workers are Black for most of these cities. You can't find that. And even look at how many low income essential workers there are in these cities, because that makes a difference, because that drives the percentage up higher. So now you could have anywhere from 70, 80 to 90% of your low wage workers being Black, Hispanic, or Asian. Let me finish. They like, it's so much information we don't know. We don't know how many Black people are being sent back from the hospitals. We don't know how many Black people are being accepted into these hospitals. We don't have much data to work with. They're telling us that we are dying because of our health choices. They're telling us that we're dying because our health choices, but they, you know, and it kind of comes as the big picture, like, okay, Black people are eating wrong, so this is the reason they're dying, not the fact that we're sending them to the front lines to die to work at KFC. Not that.
I mean,
not that.
So what you say,
like,
what you just described is real life situation, economic trade-offs that we as Black people, brown people, poor people make every day. And then you put in this climate, right? So what you described, what I heard, and I said, oh my God, and see what I heard and thought of was my good girlfriend in North Carolina, right? Who does hair and works in a shop, right? Who, if her shop call her back, and now I hear from folks, if you go back, you know, the work in your industry, if your industry is back open, you can't get unemployment. Yeah. So if she gets called back to work, she's gonna need to go to hold her chair in her spot. But at the same time, so she's now increased exposure. She's out working, but her partner, who also works for local government and is considered essential, who has been working, is also out still working on the front line. So now you got two people in the same household, a mama and a daddy, who's back out here every day on the front line. So number one,
where all of them exposed,
grandma,
the whole household,
auntie, and now these children are doubly potentially exposed because mama and daddy, or mama and mama, or daddy and daddy, whomever, are both now out and working in the health environment that we know is still questionable. And that's real talk, because we know that is how our families, you know, exist, right? So we, you know, one partner's working here, one partner's working there. You got other loved ones in the house, you know, that.
And even if your partner is lucky enough to not to be able to stay home, if you got one person in a high-risk job, the whole household and everything that they touch. Because even though you may not want to go see mom may not be able to cook. It's a lot of people who still have to take care of everybody that they were taking care of before this. Yeah. So they expose an entire group. Like Trump, I was so angry when Trump said these healthcare workers are stealing PPE. Guess what? You better get a mama, they brother, they husbands, they kids. They all need PPE.
Come and work. Come in America. This is the American way. Come and work. Do what I need you to do. But I don't care once you walk out that building. Once you walk out that building, you no longer my property, my concern, responsibility. Figure it out. That's what you hear. Thank you. Come in, doctors, nurses. My brother's a medical tech. Come in. Thank you. Come in, show up to work. But then once you leave this building, we're going to take your temperature, make sure you're okay to show up. But once you leave this building, figure it out. I don't care till you showed up again. It's time for you to take your temperature again. But this stuff that I'm so glad, Lady Q, that we are having Hot Topics After Dark, that we having some family conversation, because we got to get to this a level of awareness, because we are going through some real structural changes, systematic changes in America in response to this. And those that are already been struggling for access to equity and opportunity outside of emergency moments, we have to be very, very hyper aware of what is happening around us if we're going to move beyond surviving to thriving, which has been the journey in the vision, because we know how to survive. Now we got to survive in a whole new environment and still figure out how to thrive. So, you know, keep joining us for Hot Topics After Dark. I know Lady Q on that survival tip has a survival tip
of the day for us. What you got for us, Lady Q? Give us something juicy that we can sink their teeth into.
So again, you never know exactly what's going to happen, how tricky it's going to get. So I know we don't have a lot of people that are survivalists in our community, but we need to know some basics just to make sure that we are prepared for anything. So here's the tip of the day. If you need to create a source of fire to do whatever, to boil water, to cook, even for light, if you know, not necessarily for light, but it's more for cooking. If you need to create a quick source of fire and you don't have a grill, you take an Altoid can like this, Altoid can like this, and you see the space inside the Altoid, and you go back a little bit to your grandma. I don't know if a lot of y'all remember this.
Huh? Crisco on the stove, baby.
Yes, Crisco on the stove. And you put the Crisco in the Altoid can, and you have a stove. So you take this out, and you pack it in there, and you light it up. You got to be out. You want to be outside or something, and you put 2 stones or whatever to put something sturdy. 2 people. You know, you can even use some additional Altoid cans, and so you put them on the sides, like these 2 sides, and you set whatever you need to sit on top of it, and it's like a stove eye.
You got you.
Like a gas grill, and the grill is the stones on the side that you set something on, and the fire is up under it. So, and what you do when you're done with the fire, you just close it and use the stove again next time, because the grease won't go out. It won't finish up because it takes a while for it to burn off. So you can use this, or you can use paraffin wax. Wax is a little bit better than grease because it doesn't run once you close it up. So I like to use paraffin wax, but everybody don't have paraffin wax in the house. I have both. I have this and I have paraffin wax. And you can also make candles out of this Crisco too.
Okay. Yes, Lady Q. Hey, so you need to heat, fire. You get you an Altoid can, some Crisco or paraffin wax. There you go. Some rocks and some structure around it, some grate, something. There you go. You ready to, you cooking literally, as my girl Donna Brazil says, cooking with grease. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Lady Q. We gonna be ready. And I want to close us out with something Mother Ayanla posted today. Yes, Mother Ayanla Van Zant posted on her social media today, and I thought that it was so powerful. And the statement in the post on Twitter was, trust is based on your ability to stand your ground and rely on your own abilities. Self-trust is the foundation of your ability to trust. And then the image was, dear self, I'm going to make you proud. And at the end of the day, we've got to get back to trusting ourselves. And as Black people, and as community, and as a community of po folk in America, trusting each other, right? And then we can actually make ourselves and each other proud. So as you make
we can't do it alone. We cannot do it alone. We have to do it together.
We have to. And so that is this episode of Hot Topics After Dark. I am Jeffrey DeShawn, and I'm joined by Lady Q. We will see you next time. Check us out, Hot Topics After Dark.